everyone. This is Podcast for Class. I'm your host, Kate Stepanuk, and hopefully my audio class is the audience. Now that you've designed an image and created an audio clip, go ahead and post them on your social media platforms. Spread your posts during the week so each one can attract individual visibility. If you're wondering which day is best to promote audio content on social media, then here's the answer. According to Sprout Social, in 2020, best day to promote content on Facebook and Instagram is Wednesday. Worst day is Sunday. The lowest engagement that you may want to avoid occurred every day, either before 7 a.m. or after 5 p.m. Okay, we are done talking about social media, at least for now. It's time for that boring topic I promised to discuss about in a previous episode: research. Now, quite honestly, there is so much to talk about when it comes to research that I am more than confident we won't be able to cover all aspects in just one episode. So I've got an idea. Let's divide this topic into pre-production research and post-production research. In today's episode, I'll focus on everything you should do in terms of research before starting a podcast. And next week, we'll talk about post-production research. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into our pre-podcasting research conversation. What are some things you need to do and know prior to starting a podcast? Decide on the subject you'll focus on. Choose something you are extremely passionate about. When there is passion, there is emotion attached. Since one thing people have in common is emotion, then try to choose a topic that can connect to your audience on an emotional level. After you decide on the topic, compile a list of themes you'll discuss in your episodes. Make sure to do a thorough analysis of every subject you'll talk about. Be prepared and respect your audience's time. If they agree to listen to you, be professional and give them what they came for. How long should your episode be? Experts say the smartest answer for this question is, it depends. I guess they are right. Indeed, it depends on the topic, genre, and style of your podcast. Is it going to follow an interview style or a solo style? Again, this depends on your interests and expertise. I couldn't do a 30-minute podcast on sports. I'd have very little to say, but I'd be comfortable to talk about my experience in the United States as an international. Give me a microphone and I can talk for days. Those that have had me in class know how much I like to share stories about my first time coming to the United States. I struggled with writing checks and ordering my food through drive-thru options. I know things you grew up with were complete challenges for me. You see, you've got me going now. I can't stop talking about this. But since I made a promise to talk to you about research, I'll respect my promise and I'll go back to the topic. When you know what your podcast is about, the format you'll endorse, and how long it's going to be, I suggest you record several shows before you release your podcast to the public. This way, you don't embarrass yourself when you miss posting one episode on time. One of the biggest mistakes that can affect a podcaster's reputation is not publishing an episode on time. This is just unprofessional and disrespectful to your followers. Now that you've got 3 or 4 episodes ready, decide on the hosting platform. Do your research again and try to see what fits your podcast's format better. Don't forget about designing a logo for your podcast. Do something simple and easy to remember. Check out some popular samples, but try to create something that connects to you and your podcast. You're done. Sounds easier than you thought, right? I agree. So here's your assignment until next week. Pick a topic you have something to say about. It could be anything between music, food, traveling, and everything in between. Do some research on the topic and record a 3-minute episode on it. Design a potential logo and upload your episode on a hosting platform of your choice. Be creative and keep a conversational tone. This was Kate Stepanuk with Podcast for Class. I look forward to having you as my audience again next week when we'll talk about, post-production podcast research.